In a world of horror movie remakes and reimaginations, do we need another Child's Play film?
What are you, fucking nuts?
You thought?
What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com. I finally got around to checking out the brand new Child's Play remake, reboot, reimagination, whatever you want to call it. There's 7 films in the Child's Play franchise from the creator Don Mancini. Huge fan of his. I actually met him a few times at the horror conventions throughout the Chicagoland area, and just a really down-to-earth, really cool, laid-back guy. Just really love his work. But with this new reboot, it has nothing to do with him. There's 2 different studios kind of going at Child's Play with Chucky. I'm more of a fan of the Don Mancini series. I really like how Chucky or Charles Lee Ray has evolved and become more sinister over the 7 films, and now they're making a TV show with Chucky in it, so it's going to be cool what Mancini and his team of people are going to do with that. So with the brand new Child's Play movie, it's a different approach to the character that we all grew up and loved, being a doll and, having batteries, him coming to life and killing people. And we all know Charles Lee Ray. He's the reason I fucking hate dolls. Watching the first 3 Child's Play movies when I was a kid, remember those coming out. And the very first film being in Chicago, which scared the shit out of me growing up and living in that area as a kid. So, it just always petrified me, terrified me as a kid, seeing this doll come to life. And over the years, it, became more comedic. But the first few films are definitely more horror flicks, straight slasher flicks, and they definitely hold up. This time around, Chucky, or the Buddi doll they call it in this film, he's like an AI, artificial intelligence. It's more of a technical approach in this film, keeping up with modern times in 2019. Everybody's involved with technology. Can't keep our fucking hands off of it, our phones and computers, tablets, all that good stuff. So basically in the film, they're building these Buddi dolls, shipping them off. One of these guys is a pissed off employee, so he does something to one of the dolls, ends up in the hands of Andy and his mom, played by Aubrey Plaza. Smart device, you can have a little Buddi app, and you can see through the eyes of the doll and see what it's doing, and it picks up on your conversation and different movements you make, and basically that's the setup. He's a smart device. He's like Amazon Alexa. Alexa, play Africa by Toto. So it's kind of cool. It's a different premise, a different way of this character we haven't seen before, making it more modern. So I did appreciate that early on in the film. The first act of the movie is pretty slow, kind of building up the story. And, at that point watching the film, I was really on the fence about it. I went in with very low expectations. With all the fucking train wrecks of reboots that we've had in recent memory, I wasn't expecting much, but I did have a good time. The first act is a bit slow, but once it starts building up the story with Chucky and Andy, it really starts to get interesting. There's some really great death scenes with a lot of unexpected gore. So we have Gabriel Bateman playing Andy Barkley, a really good young actor. He kind of looks like Baby Driver, that actor, like a younger version. He kept reminding me of that he was going to put in his headphones and drive off in his car. So Andy's set up. He's a young kid living with a single mom, has hearing aids, hearing problems, and things like that. Has a few friends, kind of the outcast at times, a little awkward, and then having this doll show up, thanks to his good old mom, played by Aubrey Plaza, which, for once, she's not typecast in the same role. She's a good actress, but she's always kind of sarcastic, bitchy character. And this time around, she's not really like that. She's really young. I thought she'd be more like an older sister character. I don't know if I really bought her as a mom, but they did have a good relationship. You can see that they're a small family, and they'll get through anything together. In the supporting cast, we have Brian Tyree Henry. He's in Atlanta, really great actor. He plays this detective cop. His mom lives in the same building as Andy, so he's always stopping by to see his mom and noticing weird things that are happening at Andy's house. One being him having a doll. His friends are weird. He just seems off, so he's kind of on to Andy early on. But they do have a pretty good relationship. He's kind of watching out for him. In the second and third act, we actually get to see more of the Buddi doll. And at first, I fucking hated this doll. I thought it looked so stupid, and it was not convincing at all to be in a horror flick, especially a new Child's Play movie. It looked like Matt Damon from Team America. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
And then throughout the movie, it got a little better, when it becomes evil and talks and moves around more. It's all, from what it looks like, practical effects. It's like an actual doll moving and stuff. And you see like him and Andy's relationship really start to grow, and Chucky becoming this like stalker, psycho ex-girlfriend. He's like, we're best friends forever. Nobody else can be in your life, Andy. So in the film, you actually do get to see their relationship. It's kind of weird that Andy's, I don't know, maybe 14 in this movie. Has a little doll he's hanging out with. When I was 14, I wasn't hanging out with dolls like that, but you know, I had bobbleheads, so I mean, it could work. You see a lot of weird occurrences, you know, having to do with animals and other, you know, characters in the movie, people that know Andy's, and setting up some really great kill scenes. One of my favorites has to do with a guy hanging like Christmas lights and then like falling on the ground. And it was really fucking cool, the practical effects, like limbs breaking and blood splattering everywhere and like intestines, and like, holy shit, this is like really well done. And the practical effects really brought that aspect back to the 80s. Not to mention it's Orion Pictures. If you guys remember Orion back in the 80s, had a lot of great films. It was really cool how they did all these kill sequences, and it was a nice nod and throwback, you know, to the original films. And the second and third act, it really did build up a lot of momentum. I thought the first act was really boring and slow, and I almost gave up on it. I'm glad I didn't, because it really picks up. And you get past looking at the stupid doll that they chose for this movie. When he starts, you know, becoming a homicidal maniac and starts killing people, it really gets better, I think. You can look past that. And I like the shots of Chucky just seeing his hand, you know, and stabbing. You don't see his face all the time, which is really cool how they did that. Because less is more, and I think it made it more believable with the new AI Chucky. And I really like the third act, the ending of the film, how they all set it up, having to do with technology and these dolls, and what happens to the remaining characters. Again, a lot of great death scenes, really great shots in this film. And I almost forgot to mention one of my favorite actors of all time, Luke Skywalker, and Mark Hamill voicing Chucky. And you know, he is one of the best voice actors in the game. He's done so many iconic characters. I don't even want to name. You guys should know this information. But he's such a great actor and a great voice actor. I really loved his voice work for Chucky, and I thought it was pretty believable and very eerie and creepy at times. He didn't have that, you know, sinister laugh, you know, Charles Lee Ray did, or Brad Dourif did in the original films. But he brought his own take to this character, and I thought he did a really great job with it. A very unsettling feeling to this, you know, AI doll, and you know, with him being in the corner in the darkness, there was something very off about it, and I really thought he did a great job with this. But overall, I went into the new Child's Play with very low expectations, but I saw a lot of my movie friends were talking about this, movie critic friends, and they're really praising this, and they know how much I love horror and love 80s horror, and they're like, give it a chance, go see it. I'm really glad they told me to go check it out, because I had a really great time with this. If you can get past the doll in the first, you know, act of the film, second and third really picks up, and it really brings you back to the 80s. It had a great nostalgic 80s slasher vibe to it. Really great chemistry between, you know, Andy and his mom. You know, the cop was a good part of the film, and I just love Mark Hamill voicing this character Chucky and bringing his own spin to the character. I thought he did a really great job. So overall, I'm going to give the brand new Child's Play a 3 out of 5 Chucky hair pieces. So I want to hear from you guys. Did you guys check out the brand new Child's Play movie? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite film in the Child's Play franchise? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with my good mate up here, the Buddi doll, Chucky. Alexa, please don't kill me.
Fuck off, Logan.
Until the next movie review. Cheers!